Commission, they're saying this is a historic deal. Do you agree with that? And do you think there's enough money in the pot here?
Yes, I do agree that it's historic. It's unprecedented. I mean, the Financial Times in its write-up called it a landmark agreement. The novelty really is in the fact that for the first time ever, the Commission is allowed to borrow on international markets for transfers then to individual member states in need. This is really a show of solidarity and something that was completely unthinkable before COVID. So it is groundbreaking in that respect, and yes, I would agree with the premise.
Do you think this is going to satisfy both the northern savers and the southern spenders?
Well, it should do after 4 days and 4 nights or even more of negotiation. It is a compromise. Everybody will find something they like and something they don't like in it. But on the whole, I think it is pretty balanced. The frugals, as they're called, got a fair amount in terms of rebates and cuts in the grants, in the amount of grants from the original 500 to just under 400 billion euros. But at the same time, also the southern states got this innovation, which is very important for them.
Now, for the frugal nations, as they're called, to throw around their weight in order to get the cuts to the grants, in order to get the financial rebates, is that a fair compromise to have, or are they using up too much of their power?
Well, it's difficult to really judge what was feasible. I think that the Commission and the President of the European Council worked very hard to find the most balanced compromise they could in the circumstances. The one area that concerns me is the government's mechanism for the recovery fund, where disbursements will still have to be decided almost by unanimity. There has to be an opinion from the Economic and Financial Committee. If there are reservations by any member states, it then goes to the European Council for what they call an exhaustive discussion. The term exhaustive is a little daunting given the experience we've just had. So it remains a very intergovernmental process, which is problematic, as I wrote in a piece for the Lisbon Council just last week. To err is human, as we know, but to persevere in error is diabolical, and intergovernmentalism has been shown to be an error, and the perseverance on this road is worrying.
Just quickly, there's been a lot of the countries in the south, when you think of the likes of Italy and Greece, who have been indebted for a very, very long time. Pushing them into loans, is that not only going to exacerbate a bad situation for them?
Well, there is a balance, obviously, between the loans and, the amount of loans and grants is more or less equal. Nobody's pushing anybody into loans. I mean, they can take the loans if they decide that they need them and wish for them. And the interest rates and the conditions of the loans are very attractive. So I don't think that per se is problematic at this stage. The situation is extreme, it's extraordinary, and extraordinary measures are needed.
Alessandro Leipold joining us here from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Oliver.
5 children have died in France when the minivan they were travelling in caught fire and went off the A7 motorway in the southeastern Drôme region. 4 other passengers, 3 adults and a child, are currently in a